Alright, so we just got some news that really helps to confirm something that I've already known for quite some time, and that is that when it comes to the games, I don't know if Sonic is still their golden child anymore. Like, they haven't officially said it. Like, they haven't come out and said Sonic isn't our golden child anymore. But remember when Sonic took the mascot title from Alex Kidd in terms of within SEGA, and it kind of feels like it stayed that way? Are we Sonic fans just being delusional? Have we just, because of our love for Sonic, just accepted Sonic as the mascot of SEGA to this day, even though the numbers are telling a different story? We're gonna get into all of this and more because we've got some big SEGA news to discuss. We're talking billion-dollar big, okay? But if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 100,000 subscribers, and according to my sidekick, if I don't hit 70,000 subscribers before Sonic Frontiers comes out, then Sonic Frontiers will bomb, and then Azuka will take 6 years to make the next main series Sonic game to focus on quality, because you don't want another Frontiers, right? And of course, thank you to those who've been supporting the merchandise. Like, the site is popping off already. Like, we've got the 06 Boys mug, we got the no gameplay, no hype shirt, and we got the Ring Bible mugs. Yes, the Ring Bible. We've got the Sonic is my Lord and Savior t-shirts out, and we've got both spellings. Shout out my UK fans. It is popping off over there, so if you want to cop some shit, I suggest you go and take a look. I did lower the price of the mugs because I know some people are upset about that, and yes, before people get upset, like, honestly, I don't get most of the money. Most of it goes to the manufacturing of the merchandise. I get a little bit, like, I'm talking less than 50% of what you're paying for the merch. So Premy's not here raking in dough like it's Jet the Hawk and that, you know, that one scene in Riders. Let's just get into the video, man. There's a lot to talk about here. So first, we saw this tweet from Nebellion, and it says SEGA has opened a new studio in Sapporo City, Japan called SEGA Sapporo, which will ensure a high quality and stable development pipeline. It will design, develop, and debug new titles. The studio will be headlined by Takaya Sagawa, the PSO2 chief producer, and it links to a SEGA article thing, which of course we had to Google Translate, but it basically talks about the whole situation, talking about they're here to secure a high quality and stable development line. But honestly, I got more information from reading other people's articles because I think they translated it better. We got an article here that says SEGA establishes new Sapporo studio due to, in quotes, demand for game content. Yeah, think we want game content? This is SEGA's second game development location, so think about this. They had one, and they have basically now just added another one. They have doubled the amount of game development studios that they have got. That is a big deal. This comes from the SEGA Corporation's website today, January 11th, which says that the new studio was established on December 1st of last year. The studio will see developers making game software and doing debugging work as well. The game market continues to expand globally. As the market expands, the demand for game content is also increasing, and there is an urgent need for software manufacturers to strengthen their development system. Sapporo Studio will be led by Takaya Sagawa, who said in a statement on the studio's own website that under the policy of continuing to take on the challenge of creating even more innovative content and providing a new and inspiring experience to the world, we will utilize the know-how that SEGA has accumulated over its long history to move from the attractive city of Sapporo. We will participate in the development of entertainment that SEGA sends to the world. A job listing page on the website reveals that the studio is looking to hire roles like 3D character modeler, 3D background modeler, 3D motion designer, and different client programmers as well. Now we got more to talk about. Hold on, we're not done yet. But if we look at this Takaya Sagawa dude, he's worked on PSO2 and he's done a little bit of the Sonic. He worked on Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine as a graphic designer. He was a general producer of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, the first one. So he's been involved in some Sonic shit. He's not one of the biggest Sonic guys, but he's got a few things related to our Lord and Savior under his belt. That doesn't mean this whole new studio is for Sonic. I'm just saying it's a whole new studio. There's gonna be for a lot of things. But while I was going through this news, I came across this article which kind of aligns with what this news is kind of going on about. And this article is from November 2021, so it's a while ago, but it's really important considering that they just created a second studio. And this article says here, SEGA could spend $1 billion on its Super game, including studio acquisitions. Remember, Super game was something that we talked about when they did the Microsoft deal in the previous video. But it says here, the Japanese publisher wants to create a major global title within the next few years. Sega said it will consider investing nearly $1 billion in its game development capabilities in the next few years, including the potential acquisition of other game companies. The Japanese publisher has committed to a new super game initiative this year, a mid to long-term strategy aimed at creating a major global title focusing on the pillars of global online, community, and IP utilization. In the company's annual report published this week, parent company Sega Sammy said it would consider investing up to 100 billion yen, which is over $880 million, over the next 5 years to achieve its super game ambitions. This investment could be spent on not only its internal development resources and in-development games, but also on the acquisition of other companies either in Japan or abroad. And they mentioned some of the things they acquired before, like Creative Assembly, who make Total War, which was the thing that was selling more than Sonic in that video I talked about a while ago. They got Football Manager, they got Age of Empires, they acquired Atlas for Persona, they got Humankind, they got 2 Point for 2 Point Hospital, which was fire. Cover that on my non-Sonic channel, link in the description. And it says here, I think back to when we acquired and consolidated Atlas. This brought us two major benefits. One was the highly appealing world-class IPs Atlas had developed in the role-playing game genre. The other was the solid localization capabilities of the US-based site. Drawing on these localization capabilities, very Japanese IPs like Yakuza and Hatsune Miku have been translated using expressions that really resonate with local users, which has enhanced game quality. This part is important. The outcome of this is clearly evident in the rising Metacritic scores, which in turn is leading to growing sales in overseas markets. These kinds of acquisitions that enhance our functionality will definitely be a major strength in the long run, and we will continue to proactively explore investments from this point of view. So what the fuck is going on? Basically, a lot of talk about quality, debugging, right? They mentioned debugging work to check the quality of their products. A lot of talk about quality. And this is coming from Sega, right? Now, I remember I made that video last year that talked about Metacritic 2020 and how Sega were the highest rated publisher of Metacritic 2020, as in score-wise. They beat everyone, Nintendo, Ubisoft, EA, all the big companies. And what was a very important factor of 2020? It was the lack of any major Sonic release, right? They're talking about they want this super game. I'm pretty sure super game is not Sonic related. They want to have a game that is like a big deal. They said a major global title within the next few years. They want to have basically like a Fortnite or a GTA or a Mario Kart, something that is so big and people just keep coming back to it and people are paying for online. Probably not Mario Kart because there's no microtransactions. They probably want the shit that they can keep eating off. It's like GTA, Red Dead Online. And the point is they want something like that. And I think they've long accepted that Sonic is not going to be that, right? Now, maybe Frontiers could garner a certain level of interest, and maybe if Frontiers is a masterpiece, they could have their own big game, like on some Breath of the Wild level type shit in terms of the sales. I don't know, that's probably what they want naturally, but I think deep down they know that Sonic is not, game-wise, their bread and butter. Now, of course, in terms of iconic characters, I don't think Sega has any character that is more iconic than Sonic the Hedgehog. They've got franchises that are selling bigger numbers if we're comparing the games right now. Like Forces did not sell that much for Sega compared to some of their other things like Persona, Yakuza, things like that. But in terms of like that character recognition, yes, Sonic is still that guy. He's still gonna do the most when it comes to like multimedia merch, movie sales. But do they really believe that in terms of their games, which they're trying to push harder in terms of Sega, do they really think that Sonic is gonna be that thing that's gonna stand at the top of everything and outsell everything else they've got? I don't think they believe that anymore. And do we believe that? I don't know. I think they've got way too much faith in other stuff, and they've got way too many other franchises and way too many acquisitions that they're planning for them to really sit around thinking that Sonic is gonna be that thing. Sega are a company, and a company needs to make money. To them, a franchise is just like a plate, okay? If one plate breaks and they're hungry and they need to eat, they'll just get another plate. Like, if they have a bigger franchise that they create, like this super game, they don't need to make Sonic work by force. They could toss it to the side. The same way Nintendo just tossed F-Zero to the side, because Mario Kart was just that good. It was selling just that much that they didn't even have to make a new Mario Kart for like 8 fucking years, and they don't even have to worry about making another major F-Zero game, because it's like, we got the kart shit on lock. If they haven't broken up with Sonic yet, then we're basically on probation in a sense sense that Frontiers, you better do well with all this budget and this delays and shit, that the 5-year plan and all this shit to make this game. If you don't do well, we are gonna replace you so hard for this super game and you'll be relegated to multimedia and budget video games. Now, I'm not saying that I mean Sonic is doomed or anything, because I mean, if Frontiers is good, then Frontiers is good, right? I don't care if it sells like 3 million units, but it's a masterpiece. I'm still gonna be a happy Sonic fan, but it's just something to think about, right? Like, just because Sonic the brand is one of the most iconic brands there is in terms of video games, doesn't mean that the actual video games are going to be the bread and butter when compared to other video game franchises. Like, I'd be willing to guess that more people would recognize Sonic the Hedgehog than Ezio Auditore, even though the Assassin's Creed games sell more than the Sonic games that come out. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, character recognition is different from the actual sales of the game itself. Like, Sonic dropped to 4th at one point in terms of recently selling SEGA games. Like, when they were comparing their franchises, Sonic dropped to 4th and they had to like fight to get it back to 1st again. But the fact that it could even drop to 4th was pretty interesting. And remember, that's the entire franchise. Like, whatever they're actively selling is adding up to those units. That doesn't really say anything about what the recent sales are, right? Like, Sonic as a franchise could still be making them more money than Total War Persona, but then in terms of recent games, Persona could be selling more and making more than recent Sonic games. It's just that the back catalog is so strong. If they're really trying to plan this super game and try and have this next big smash hit, they're looking for the next thing that they can push, the next thing that they can call their new mascot. And if Sega pull that off, I'm talking like big game, like Fortnite kind of like levels, like this is moving 10 million units, this is making all our money. They are going to ditch Sonic in terms of priority when it comes to games, especially if Frontiers flops. So going back to the video I made when I said, is Sonic Frontiers Sonic's last chance? Like, it really feels like it is. I think that's what I want people to take home from this video, because the discussion's been a little bit all over the place, but I really feel like Frontiers is the last chance to prove Sonic's worth as a video game franchise, not just a franchise of multimedia, but like as a video game franchise. Because if they create this super game and they create some franchise that's so big that Sega is like on top, talked about with the big boys, that franchise is gonna be it. It's gonna take over. And Sonic games could get tossed to the side again unless Frontiers is able to hold its own in terms of sales and critic scores and user scores and in general, like reception. Because last time they pushed budget was like, boom, Rise of Lyric. And then that flopped, and then it felt like we were getting budget shit for a while. And now it's like they've come back full force with the big budget because of the movie success. And it's like Sega thinking, if we don't get the results that we want from this big budget push for Frontiers, then we're gonna like re-budget Sonic again to be lower budget again, and then just coast off of the media again. And then we're back in that cycle of we got a big budget game and then it goes low budget again. And then maybe 5 years from now they try again and give us another big budget game. So like, again, all I'm saying is, as a Sonic fan, I don't want to be Alex Kidded. And the only way to stop that from happening is if Frontiers is a hit. Frontiers needs to be it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the situation. Sega has just doubled the amount of development studios they have. They are planning on putting nearly $1 billion into having a big major game. And that game is likely not going to be Sonic. Sonic may not be the biggest thing in Sega's headquarters anymore. And it's up to Frontiers to prove that the games have still got it. Do you guys think Frontiers will prove that? Or do you think the only thing we're going to be praising is the movie and maybe Prime, and then looking at the games with disdain? Only time will tell. But yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Make sure to check out the non-Sonic channel. The link will be in the description. But that's all I have to say right now. So, Premy out.